Oh, hey everybody! We're back
In the woods.
in the woods with
Wario's
Alex.
woods with our pal Alex. How's
We're
it
here
Yeah.
trapped in the unending hell of Wario's woods.
Well, it does end.
Well, it's a spoiler, I guess. It doesn't really. Nothing truly ends here in Wario's woods.
Oh no!
So these new guys here, you can see on the side of the screen, there is actually a little instruction for how to destroy them.
Oh,
You
yeah!
need 2 bombs in a row.
Two
There's
bombs,
1 and
and
2.
they blink, so there's a window. So they'll eventually stop blinking after one.
This is Wario's. He's throwing the difficult monsters at me now, but these are actually pretty bad for Wario. So one of the more challenging things, especially at the higher levels, is that it's tricky to set up combos for yourself. There's so much on the screen that there's a few like combos that you don't know about, and it kind of messes you up. Like, oh shit, I guess that was diagonal, and I didn't see it in time, and now the other combo I was trying to do is gone, if that makes sense.
Right.
The little guys that you have to pop twice, you don't pop them by accident, so you can set up crazy long combos with them. They're way worse, in my opinion,
Right.
for Wario than just steering the course with his regular guys.
And they can theoretically send that ceiling all the way back up.
Yeah, you can do, in theory, well enough that Wario just goes away. I've had combos in this that went so long that Wario appears and immediately turns around and leaves in disgust. Because if you do a good combo, his meter goes back down. See, there he goes. That's just because I won. He just appeared and then...
But he'll do that later.
It's part of... I have way more empathy for Wario than the other characters. Because Toad is like he's a menace. Like, he's got so much more power than any other character does here. Like, I can lift this, like, giant stack of stuff 1,000 times my weight. Like, it's nothing. And I can climb up walls, and I'm just crawling around in this tree, destroying everything.
So, Toad is a race.
So he's referred to... I don't have the actual packaging. I only have the cartridge. Technically, it's in, like, Seattle, I think, now. But the, I have owned a cartridge, but never the packaging, so I don't know any of the story. I only know what I looked up. But he's only referred to, I believe, as the Mushroom Kingdom Hero.
So, if Toad is a race of beings, and we know it's kind of true from Mario games, where there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, there's Toad, there's Toadette, there's, like, Master Toad, and...
Captain Toad.
Yeah.
I'm warning you, Shrew.
Note that Wario has doubled in size.
Oh, he's getting bigger.
He's got his
Yes.
Mario 2 sprite for Toad.
And you're a toast! Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of salvage in this game.
Yeah, I suppose.
Older games.
I wonder, like, what the turnaround for developing this thing was.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna look it up. I mean, it's nothing you haven't looked up, I'm sure.
I actually don't know much about the development of it. I know that it got really mixed reviews. Few people outright hated it, but a lot of people sort of didn't get it. It's a weird premise, this game. The moving physically around the puzzle.
93% of Google users love it.
I think the core premise here of moving around, some people thought it was amazing, other people thought it was just kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
In a lot of puzzle games, you're sort of omnipotent. You can be anywhere in the puzzle that you want to be. With this game, you're limited. Toad is an exceptionally... His physical prowess is pretty amazing. I can, like, run up walls and, kick stuff around. But he only moves so fast. There's no way to run or move quicker.
Right.
But you also do have the ability to speed up time when it's
yes,
useful.
I can manipulate time. That's a pretty crazy ability.
Not to minimize the benefits of also being able to run fast.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. He's often not quick enough, especially at the higher levels.
Sure. I mean, I imagine that's where a lot of the challenge of Wario's Woods really comes from, is just not being able to navigate to where you need to at any given point in time. It doesn't look like it's particularly like complex. It's mostly match 3 with, you know, a couple of odd, like some of them change color after you hit them the first time, some that you have to hit twice in a specific amount of time, but
Yeah.
I think those are the only two special ones too. There's a different mode to this. Sort of goes. That was a little stupid what I did because now it's only the green diamond left. There's a mode where you have bosses, where there's a giant block, like a big ugly monster that appears, and you have to pop it multiple times, and it does crazy stuff to the level.
Oh, really?
I like this mode a little better. I have beaten both. The bosses aren't really that hard. The stuff that they do is a little chaotic. Not that it's totally unpredictable, but just that if you're just trying to solve the puzzle, like I am now, like just kind of running through, this actual gameplay, it just becomes a little different. Like a lot of your strategies are more reactive, and I just find this game is more of a appeals to me a little more.
Yeah, that's understandable. So, Wikipedia has the full story on here.
Oh,
And on the timeline where this takes place.
let's have it.
It takes place immediately after the events of Super Mario World.
Super Mario World.
Um,
So we are backtracking after the SNES has already... Okay, go on.
Yeah, we're backtracking from the... this is a story that takes place after the first Super Nintendo game.
Okay.
So, so this takes place in the once peaceful area of the Mushroom Kingdom, known appropriately as the Peaceful Woods.
Oh no!
So, Wario had cast a spell, which I didn't know he was magical. I don't think that's a thing.
Dude, you never hear about Mario casting spells.
Yeah, so Wario cast a spell over the forest's inhabitants and manipulated them in order to make them his minions. In an attempt to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, Wario uses his band of monsters to destroy the peace of the forest. And as a result, peaceful creatures were no longer welcome in the woods. Right?
So, the monsters are not really evil, but they don't get along with peaceful creatures, which I kind of get.
They're a little xenophobic.
Yeah.
And so, okay, we've got the background of all of that. Where does the hero of the Mushroom Kingdom come in on all this?
Okay, so Toad, who is introduced as the Mushroom Kingdom hero.
Oh.
So this is the original, like, this is Toad. Real Toad.
Oh, this is the Toad. This isn't a Toad.
No, this is the Toad, yeah. He makes his way to Wario's woods in order to quiet the sinister lout and win the woods back for the sprites, who are fairy-like beings who keep peace in Wario's woods.
Oh, I forgot that Wanda was a not unique. She was just a type of thing.
She is one of the sprites. And so they're the only inhabitants, I think, that got out unchanged. So I'm guessing that these inhabitants are animals that have been transformed that you're killing, brutally murdering.
Or maybe fairies have some sort of like low-level magic immunity.
Maybe, yeah. So
Make a certain amount of sense.
these guys are like the vegetables and and animals that live.
I mean,
It just said peaceful inhabitants. They might have just looked like this.
This is also not without precedent. If you read through the backstory of like Mario 1, all of the like blocks and everything like that are also originally people that Bowser transformed into things by magic.
The blocks?
Yeah, the blocks that you are
that is
constantly
true.
punching into explosive little chunks were once the inhabitants of the Mushroom Kingdom.
You're not wrong. That is
That's canon, baby.
yeah. It is.
Oh, that's why everything has eyes?
Yes.
Everything has eyes. Yeah.
God, he just left them their eyes.
Yeah. Made sure that they could still see what was happening.
So they know who's gonna kill them.
That's sadistic. Like, how does Mario like stop and play golf with this asshole later on?
Because I mean, Mario is about as much of a sociopath as anybody else in this.
That is
in this
true.
series
Man, I
as
guess
well,
so.
but-
Holy shit. So I didn't ask. Am I allowed to cuss on the
Oh,
show?
yes,
I don't know.
No, please feel free. We had a conversation about this couple weeks ago on Sierra Saturday about how there's just no way we're gonna stop swearing.
Yes, we've had requests. Well, not so much requests, but complaints before. But
Yeah.
no,
Not many, to be fair.
yeah, not many. Just the odd person
Not
who
many.
stumbles upon the channel and then is suddenly offended that this channel that they were not there for the start for anyway includes potty language.
Yeah. So feel free, please. So yeah, you are okay, so with the help of a fairy known as Wanda, who can create bombs, and Birdo, who provides encouragement for Toad.
Just encouragement.
Is that what she's providing? Wow, I had no idea. This is news to me. That Birdo was meant to be encouraging.
Look how encouraging she is.
So I get now, like, as an adult watching this game, she is pointing out the meter to me.
Yeah.
That's not encouraging. That's just like, just so you know, Wario's coming to kill you.
Yeah, she's more like Wario's secretary, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so you know, Mr. Wario will be here in 5 minutes.
Wario will be
Kill
here to
your
see
ass.
you now.
So, Toad must rescue the Mushroom Kingdom from Wario's greed and power, but he's not rescuing the peaceful woods people, that's for sure.
No, there is no longer any hope for them.
This is-
They're not even defending themselves.
This is definitely for the greater good of the Mushroom Kingdom.
It's amazing that Toad is so cheery in these later appearances. After going through this, he is personally killing all of the inhabitants. I'm gonna blow you guys up! With his bare hands.
Yes.
He is wallowing in their blood.
Toad
just killing
and
them
the
all.
Peaceful Woods pogrom.
Oh,
This hurts me more than you!
yeah, Toad, yeah. So that's what he's supposed to do.
Also, Wario's monster army, they can't even move. He just drops them on you.
Yeah.
Like, they can't move around on their own. They're so deformed.
That's so deformed.
It wasn't a good spell.
No, I guess he's not a good magician. That's why you don't hear about him using spells later on.
I mean, I think
So apparently,
in the later, I don't know if it was also called Wario's Woods, but there's a platformer that stars Wario as well, where I think he does have some magic. But
Wario World.
Wario World, there you go.
I think it was Wario World.
That tracks.
I love Wario World, actually. I've played most of them.
Did he not have some magical
They're all very
powers in that?
different. His abilities in that were all based around self-harm.
Oh, okay.
So nothing really hurt you in Wario World. Anything that hurt you would just change your properties.
Right.
So you would get smushed flat by something. And instead of dying, you would become Flat Wario, and you'd have all the abilities of a flat person.
wow.
And you would use it to solve the level. So your there were things that would prevent you from winning, that would sort of kill you, but most of the stuff, like the bat bites you, and a bat bites you, and you become Vampire Wario, and you can't go in the sunlight, but you're immune to certain things, and
Right.
and the bit was you got to the you were sort of an Indiana Jones greedy treasure hunter type. You would get to the end of the level and there'd be something you collected, and then you had to get back to the start of the level. You had to run through it much faster and in reverse. Was how all those... Well, I think the original game was different, but that's the format that they settled on.
Alright.
It wasn't the best series of games, but I liked it enough that I actually played quite a few of those on various emulators and virtual consoles.
Wario
He's
and his
rotating,
secret
guys.
powers of self-harm.
I forgot about the diagonal guys. These guys are Well, I didn't forget about them. I just forgot to mention them.
What's their deal?
They can only be exploded diagonally.
Oh, really?
It is a good idea in the early levels of this game to practice making diagonal combos, because there are some levels where you can only get diagonal ones.
Wow.
And if you're not in the habit of it, you will get creamed on those.
Right.
So there's 3 special types. The ones you have to pop twice, the ones you can only pop diagonally, and
the guys who change
color once.
Yeah.
And the bosses on the special boss levels.
Wow. So yeah, that's the story.
It's just as bleak as I thought it was.
Also, the bird that appears is actually a pigeon and not a crow.
Oh, yeah.
Pidgey, that's right, because he flies around on the magic carpet. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Well, his name is Pidgey. That doesn't necessarily mean that he is a pigeon, because Mario games are notoriously bad at coming up with reasonable names for things.
Yeah. Oh, did that just happen when you were falling?
Yeah, so you can... there's a bit of a sweet spot for, like, some combos. You can do stuff... So you can do this sort of, what I call the suplex, where you grab a bomb and...
Right, yeah.
and fall past it.
Wow.
I have dumb terminology for stuff that happens in this stupid game.
That's madness.
I don't think about a lot of it. It's interesting doing this as like a sort of presentation or a demonstration, because I don't think about most of what happens in this game. Like, very few parts of my brain are even active right now.
Yeah. Well, I imagine, like, in the later levels, you're probably going to have to be a little more, you're going to have to concentrate a little more on what's happening.
These coins that I'm getting right now, don't happen every time. Wario's just a smidge bigger.
I'm still in a good mood. Get back out now! I won't break you!
So that's maybe his first genuinely messed up line that he says. Like, that's pretty dark for a Mario game.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't break you. That's some Bane shit.
Some Bane shit.
I would argue, though, that it still kind of feels like somebody menacing you with a weapon when you've broken into their house.
Yeah, like, okay, Wario turned these people into monsters. That's fine. Nothing to be done about it. Can't be fixed. We're not fixing it.
Yeah, it's like this isn't really even revenge.
We're just kind of punishing Wario at this point.
Okay, now to be fair, I think Wario's plan was to use these little tomatoes and bunnies to take over the Mushroom Kingdom.
Somehow.
None of these creatures are less than 20% tomato.
Right, and they are immobile as well.
Yeah, like, those bunny guys, they're still pretty tomato-y. Like, they're not really gonna...
No.
They're not up to much. There's not, they don't have plans later. None of these guys did.
Yeah, there's not a lot sinister happening there.
All we know is that Wario was gonna use these guys to take over the Mushroom Kingdom, which is now a little easier now that Bowser's been defeated by Mario just like a week ago. He's like, finally, Bowser's not a problem anymore. And like, Mario must be on vacation, which is why Toad has to do this shit.
So, this must have been the first appearance of Wario? Because I'm pretty sure Virtual Boy came after the Super Nintendo.
I think this might be Wario's first appearance, which is a weird thing. Like, as the evil version of Mario, he gets sort of the titular role here. Like, oh, there's an evil Mario. But Mario's not even here. He's not trying to fight his own doppelganger.
So, strangely, Wario was inspired. I mean, it's not really him, but it's not really not him. It's him in the way that Jumpman is Mario, basically. In 1985, in the game Wrecking Crew, there's a character called Spike, and he was a construction foreman. So he's kind of inspired by that. It depends what you know.
This is Wario?
But he didn't... Wario, yeah.
Okay.
So, But he didn't debut as Wario until 1992, which was 2 years before this.
Okay, so
in the game Super Mario Land 2.
Oh right, yeah, he was the antagonist of Super Mario Land. That's true on the Game Boy.
Yeah, Super Mario Land 2. 6 golden coins. Yeah.
Yeah, I never beat that game. I owned it as a kid on like Game Boy Pocket, and it was too hard for the age that I was, I think.
So Wario's design arose from Super Mario Land's design team's distaste of making a game based around someone else's character. The creation of Wario allowed them a character of their own to symbolize their situation.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He was a protest?
Yeah, he was a protest character. He's portrayed as a caricature of Mario.
Oh, that's why he's so, like, objectionable.
Yeah.
And, like, eating gross food. And...
They just doubled down on it, yeah.
Wow, that's great. I've actually always liked Wario. He's my, all the party games, he's always my go-to. Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, he also wears a plumber's outfit with yellow-purple color scheme.
That is madness.
In his early appearances, he wore a yellow long-sleeve shirt and magenta overalls.
Wow.
So, there you go.
And with that, I think we're just about out of time for this episode, so, have to...
Yeah, we are. These are
it's all right. I mean, there's not a whole lot of lull in the action, not a lot of great breaking points. So we're just gonna have to take a break here while we're in the middle of the match, and we'll jump right back in next week. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you're getting something out of this.
It is actually strangely fun. Like, I never would have thought, oh god,
I mean,
puzzle game. What the
short of bringing Alex
that?
back
This is
to
great.
play more of this, you're probably not going to see many more puzzle games on this channel. So, yeah, neither Matt nor I have
That's
the head
true,
for
yeah.
it. I'm pretty sure. So,
No, it's not my thing. But this is awesome. So, join us next week for more of this. I think, we might actually try to go all the way with this. Maybe
I think we should.
Yeah. We can keep it entertaining.
I'm having fun.
Good.
I'd be doing this
Let's do
shit
it.
anyway.
That's true.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
All right, bye.